Good evening everyone, I am Sheetal and I welcome you all to today's live demo session from Hitbullseye. Today we will be discussing this, how to master analogy questions. But before that we need to see where do we actually get the analogy questions. So these questions, we don't see these questions in the main exam, main MBA entrance exam, that is the CAT exam. But in some of the non-CAT exam, this is one of the most important topics of your verbal section. Like you get the questions of analogy in XAT exam, NMAT, SNAP, IIFt, TISNET. So you get questions based on, you can say, vocabulary because it tests your vocabulary and your ability to draw certain analogies or comparisons or similarities. So without any further ado, let's get into the lecture and let's see why are these analogies questions so tricky. I'm saying this because I have seen this in so many students complaining about this thing, that though we are able to attempt the difficult RCs of the CAT exam, but these analogy questions and their choices are quite tricky and very close. So the options, the pairs given in the option, they find them as close contenders. So let's see what are analogy questions and how to deal with these questions, because see, this is very scoring. It would hardly take you any time to attempt to one question of analogy or vocabulary. Like it takes a lot of time for the RCs. You take 4 to 5 minutes reading an RC, then doing those 4 questions. There is no such situation or case with the analogy questions. Now, so want to score good in the analogy question because it is time saving and you find them tricky. That's true with all of us. Let's see why do we find them tricky. So learning objectives that we need to know before starting the lecture about the analogy is, first, there are different types of relationships expressed by question pair of words. Now if I have to show you one example, analogy question is given in this form. I am taking two variables, A is to B. So A is to B, you can put any things into these two places, replacing these two variables. For example, we can write orange is to fruit. So this is the format of the question that you will see in the exam. So we have to decode the relationship first. That will be the first step. So what is the relationship between an orange and a fruit? Orange is a type of fruit. So you can say, the way of saying it or structuring it is, A is a type of B. Now in this same structure, A is a type of B, you have to try and fit all the given pairs of the option and then see which one is the most appropriate one or fits perfectly there. This is how we do the analogy questions. So first is, there are different types of relationship. We will be doing it when we'll start with the lecture. First of all, before giving you questions or practicing question, we will see some of the pairs and we will try to decode their relationships together. Meanwhile, you are free to drop in your answers in the chat box and then we'll discuss them. So then decoding the relationship, the first step, right? Significance of vocabulary is something that we all know is very important for analogy question. Let's say you are given a pair of two words, and what if you do not know the meaning of one of those two words? You won't be able to proceed with the question. Then there is no meaning of looking at the option, because if you do not know the meaning of both the words given in the question, how will you decode the relationship between them? So whenever you come across analogy question, I know there is just one answer out of the 5 options, but always try to, find out and remember the meaning even of the rest of the words. Try to build a strong vocabulary. Whenever you're reading something, be it RC questions, parajumbles or anything, try to inculcate new words into your vocabulary and build your vocabulary strong. Importance of secondary meaning of words. Now, often you have decoded one relationship, but then there is no option which is matching into that same structure, or probably when you see those words of the question pair, you feel as if there is no relation between the two. So how will we find out the relationship? That is the time you need to think about it. Probably they have used a secondary meaning there. Whenever we Google the meaning of a word, we get multiple meanings there. The topmost is the one which is like the mainstream. We always see, we use that word in that sense only. But probably as an adjective, the word has some other meaning. As a verb, it has some other meaning. Right, so it's important that if you're not able to find any relationship between the two words, it's time you should think about other meanings or secondary meaning that the word may have. So we will see what is the significance of, okay, what is the importance of secondary meanings, importance of understanding the order of the words. Now what is this point? Now for example this one, I said A is a type of B. I could not say B is a type of A. In example, let's say you get an option which is furniture is to table. Now table is a type of furniture, so the relationship is same. But look at this, the order is different. Here the smaller unit was given in the first place, that is A, and the broader one was given in the place of B. So you cannot reverse the order. The order for this one is this and for this one is like this. The order should also be same. So don't fall for those choices which have similar relation but different order. Always make sure the relation is also same and the order is also same. Vertical and horizontal analogy. So this one, if you see something like this, A is to B and similarly C is to be what? I mean, we have to fit in something in place of D. So you will be given single words in the option. In this case, you have to do it in the form of horizontal analogy. Let's see this now. Let's decode some relationships now. As I promised that we will be decoding certain relationship. Now everyone who's live, please drop in your answers in the chat box. I will do the first one for you. You will get a gist of it, how to do it. And then let's see who will answer it correctly. So seed is to plant. Let's name them as A is to B. So these all, let's consider them as A and the second ones as B. So using the variable A and B, how can we decode the relationship for the first one? Seed is to plant. Can anyone tell me? Let's see who's going to answer this one. Or let me just do the first one for you. You can say A leads to B. Or you can say A develops into B. A seed develops into B. Or you can say A is the initial stage of B. There are different ways of making a relation sentence. You just have to see, looking at the option, which one would be the most apt one, right? So you can say A develops into B. This was the relationship for the first one. And trust me, do not underestimate this exercise of decoding the relationship, because if you haven't done this, trust me, there will be close contenders in the option and you may end up getting confused. So first of all, always decode the relationship. And you can write your notes also in your notebook while I'm, telling you all these relationships. So one type is A is a type of B. The another one that we've just done is A develops into B, or A is the primary stage of B. Similarly, what is stethoscope is to doctor? What is the relation for this one? The second one. What do you think? Let's see who's going to answer this one. The relation between stethoscope and a doctor. Alright, let's see this one now. We all know that doctors use stethoscope to hear the heartbeat of the patient, and they all carry it. In fact, the stethoscope somehow signifies the medical practice. So what can we say is, A is an instrument or a device used by B, right? So the relationship, the third one that we have learned today is, A is a device of B, or A is an instrument of B. Similarly, whatever option is given to you, in this sentence you have to put all the given pairs and see which one gels well or which one is perfectly fine in the sentence. Let's see the next one. Admire is to idolize. Now this is an amazing one. What is the difference between two? Admire and idolize. What is the relationship between the two? Now you must be thinking, these are both the same words. What kind of relationship would they have? This is the fourth relationship. So this one is, A and B are synonyms, but the degree of B is greater than A. Admiration is fine. We all do admire people around us, things and events and certain kind of traits or characteristics people possess. Admiration is fine. But idolizing someone, considering them your idol, so much so that you don't see the negatives, is an extreme of the same thing. So A and B are synonyms, but B has a higher degree than A. This is the fourth type of relationship that you can jot down in your notebook. Moving on to the next one, table is to chair. Oh, we have already done something similar? Not exactly. So it was furniture is to table. Now what is table is to chair? What kind of a relationship is this? Now this is a very easy one. I am expecting a response from you guys. Let's see who's going to answer this one. Come on, try it. We are not giving any negative marking here. What is the relationship between these two things? Both are furniture, table and chair. We call this relationship as complementary pair. A and B are complementary pairs. So a table is incomplete without a chair, and similarly a chair is incomplete without a table. Though we use it in a way, whatever way we want to, but ideally they both go all along. It's a set, a table and a chair. So they are complementary pair. They complement each other. They complete the purpose of each other. So one more type is complementary pair. Moving on to this one, zealot is to fervor. Now what is this one? So apart from looking for the meanings of the word, another hint that you can go with is, you can see what part of speech is it. Zealot and fervor. It is not zeal or being zealous, it's zealot. It means it is used for a person. So it's a noun. Zealot is an adjective actually. It's an adjective used for a person who has great zeal. And then what is fervor? Okay, I can see one response. Very good. Yes, AC, you are absolutely right. You've written that complement each other for the previous one, which is perfectly fine. Let's see if you know the meaning of fervor. Fervor is when you have a lot of enthusiasm, zeal, energy, excitement for something. You have fervor for that particular thing. So zealot is to fervor. For example, the freedom fighters, they had this fervor and zeal of fighting for their nation, for the unity of the nation and freedom of the nation. So that was their fervor. Basically, zeal and fervor are the same words, but this is not zeal. It is zealot. Zealot is used for a person. So the relationship would be A is known for his B, or A is known for the quality B, or A is known for possessing quality B. In the same structure, you have to try and fit in all the options given in the question. Now we are simply exploring different types of relationship, but we will do certain questions also. So this is another type that you can write in your notebook. A is known for the characteristic or is known for possessing this quality B, fervor, which is zeal and enthusiasm and energy for something. I hope these are clear, right? So let us see and decode some more relationships. The first one is fruit is to orange. Oh, we have a similar example. So fruit is to orange, now we already know. Again, naming them as variables A and B, and we will go on fitting the given options in this. So orange is a type of fruit, but the order is reversed here. So you will say B is a type of A. Similarly, in the next one, drug is to cure. What is the relationship between the two? The drug that is present in different medicine, different drugs are there. How are they related to cure? Let's see who's going to answer this one. I'm waiting for your response, everyone. So you can say, for B, we use A. To cure a disease or to cure ourselves of some disease, we use drug. Or you can say A helps in B. A helps to cure a person of a disease or ailment, right? This is another relationship. Moving on to the next one, brain and thinking. What is the relationship between the two? Now, this is an organ. It's a noun. And this is a verb, thinking. Wherever there are ing words, they are verbs. What is the relationship between this noun and this verb? It is B is the function of A. Thinking is a function of brain, which is an organ. So you can say A performs B, or you can say B is a function of A. Whatever way you like. This is an activity which will come. This is something that will come with practice. So you might have to frame 2 or 3 relationships, structures, and then try to fit on the given options, whichever is the apt one. Then we have problem is to key. What is the relationship between a problem and a key? And mind it, we are not talking about the lock and the key. This is a different key. Secondary meaning is implied here. So key provides solution to a problem, basically, right? So you can say we can solve A using B, or you can say B helps in solving A, right? This is the relationship. B helps in solving A. It helps in solving a problem. So key to a problem is a solution to that problem. Moving on to the next one, poor is to money. Now there can be 2 different kinds of relationship that we can decode here. We know that poor people don't have money or they lack money. Or we can say poor people are in need of money. They need money. So here 2 relationships can be A lacks money, A lacks B, or you can say A needs B. I hope some of these relationships that we've done almost 10 types of relationship, which is going to be very useful for you. Similarly, whatever pair you come across, always try to decode it and write it down in your notes. And then I bet you will definitely score good in the analogy question. So this was the first step. This is the basic practice we should go with. With this knowledge, let's move on to solve some of the questions. So first is robbery is to crime. So the topic is the order is extremely important. I've already talked about the significance of the order. Let's see how. Robbery is to crime. So there are different crimes like murder, theft, burglary, or robbery. So what is the relationship between the two? We have already done this one. We can say A is a type of B. Robbery or theft is a kind of crime, right? You cannot say crime is a type of robbery. No, it's the order is same. The order is like this. Robbery is a type of crime. In the same structure, A is a type of B. We have to put one pair. Let's see who's going to answer this one. Quickly drop in your answers, everyone. Now you have option. You just have to write 1, 2, 3 or 4. And if you're watching the video later on, pause the video and try to answer these questions. Right, so let's see this one. First one is truth is to emotion. Do you think truth is a kind of emotion? Truth is not an emotion, right? It's a quality. So we cannot say truth is an emotion. So this relation itself is a distorted one. Second is painting is to art. Is that right? There are different forms of art like music, dance, drama, painting. So yes, this is the right answer. A is a type of B. Just as robbery was a type of crime, painting is a type of art. So this is the right answer. If we move on to the next one, poem is to sonnet. Now what is a sonnet? Sonnet again is a type of poem which consists of 14 lines. So a 14-line lyric or a short poem is known as sonnet. So here the relationship is again correct. That is, sonnet is a type of poem. But look at the order. The order is reversed, and that is the reason we are going to eliminate this option. This is the reason why order is so important. Trickery is to wizardry. What is the difference between the two or the similarity between the two? They are both same. Trickery. So you trick someone by this way, wizardry, right? So a wizard tries to trick people. So this is whole together different relationship. We are not using synonym kind of similar kind of words. Rather, we were talking about one thing being a type of the other thing. Moving on to the next question, which is kindness is to humane. These are both qualities, kindness and humane. They are both adjective, they are both qualities. What is the relationship between? A is to B. So we can say a person who is humane always shows kindness. So this quality of being kind is always there. He always showcases kindness, presents kindness. So we can say B possesses the quality A. or B has this quality A, or you can say B is known for this quality A. Similarly, try to put in all the pairs in the same structure, and the order is this one. This person, humane, will always have kindness. Courage and bold, stamps and philatelist, heroine and hero, Christianity and Christ. Let's see who's going to answer this one, and that too correctly. Let's see. Come on, drop in your answers, everyone. So what is a philatelist? Philatelist is a person who loves to collect stamps. So here we cannot say that this stamps is a quality. Even if I say like this is a person philatelist who loves to collect stamp, is a stamp a quality of that person? No. So the relationship is not the right one here. Doesn't sync with our sentence that we framed after decoding the relationship of this. Easily eliminated. Heroine and hero, they are complementary, we can say. So this is also a different relationship. Christianity and Christ. Is Christ known for a quality which is Christianity? First of all, Christ, Jesus Christ, he never professed Christianity. He was not the one who started this religion or this belief in Christianity. His disciples, much later after his death, they gathered, and they, on the principles of Jesus Christ, they formed this religion named as Christianity, which shaped with time. So it's a very recent religion, we can say. Right? So it cannot be the right answer. We are only left with this one. Courage is to bold. And what is the relation? A person who is bold will always be courageous. So a person who's bold possesses quality A. B possesses the quality A. B possesses the quality A. Absolutely right. See, if you are able to decode the relationship, then there is no doubt you'll be able to do these questions. Let's see this now. Let's test your learning. Diplomat is to tact. Similarly, what should be similar to the other thing, the other variable? Now this is the form of A. This is horizontal analogy. A is to B. Similarly, C is to D. Or how you can write is A is to B. So whatever the role A performs, C should be doing the same, and it should be related to C. Whatever B is doing should be related to D. What should the relationship be? Diplomat is to tact, and then in options we have administrator, people, those who manage things. Administrator is to education. Does the administrator only manage education and nothing else? Think about it. Merchant is to catalog. Catalog is a list of items, or it can be mishaps also, or it can be events also. It's a list of something. Merchant is a person who sells or buys a good, particularly only one good, and he specializes in it. Politician is to flamboyance. Flamboyance is a lot of pomp and show, acting in a very loud way to attract attention, to show that they are very confident. So can we say that politicians are only known for flamboyance? And can we say all the politicians have this quality of flamboyance? Mr. Manmohan did not have this quality. Think about this. Another one is inventor into ingenuity. Talking about the significance of vocabulary, importance of vocabulary. How many of us know the meaning of this word? Ingenuity. Think about this. Moving on to the next one, accountant and flexibility. An accountant, a person who keeps records of accounts, sees the accounts, is he flexible? No, there is no relationship between these two words. So now what should we do when we do not know meaning of certain words like flamboyance or catalog or ingenuity? We will go on to eliminate the wrong option with whatever we have, right? The wise guessing thing. This one we have already decoded. Administrators are the managers of things. So it's not just about education. You can easily eliminate this one. Merchant and catalog. Catalog is not a quality. Tact is a quality that diplomats have. Diplomats are people, those who look after the business and do the dealings for that. They flinch certain deals for their company or business or endeavor. So tact is a quality that they have. They have a way of doing things. They have tacts. So catalog is not a quality. Rather, it's a list of things. You can easily eliminate this one. See, on the basis of knowledge of, parts of speech, if you go on to look for parts of speech. Catalog is a noun, tact is in, what is it? It's a quality. Politician and flamboyance. Though flamboyance is a quality, but we cannot say all the politicians have this quality or they are just known for their flamboyance. So we can eliminate this one. The only option we are left with is this one. Fourth one, ingenuity. Yes, AC, you're absolutely right. You've given the correct answer, which is the fourth one. So what is inventor? Inventor is a person who invents something new. So he's creative in that way. Ingenuity is innovativeness or creativity, someone's original idea or his flexible mind when he's able to be creative or find something new. So ingenuity is the quality possessed by the inventors. That is the reason they are known as inventor, because they invent something new. So fourth one is the right answer. Just as a diplomat is known for this quality, that is, they have tacts of doing things, similarly inventors have ingenuity of mind. That is the reason they are so innovative. Moving on to the second question. Curtain is to stage. The meaning of both the words we clearly know. Stage is where plays are acted upon, and curtain is something that covers it, right? So A is to B. What is the relationship here? Let's decode the relationship first and then we will go through the options. A is used to cover stage or to hide the stage or whatever is going backstage. So before the act opens up, people need to arrange things on the stage for which the curtains are drawn, right? So A is used to hide B. This is the relationship. Footlight. Is footlight used to hide orchestra? No. In fact, it highlights the orchestra, a group of people, a group of musicians that perform on the stage. They are highlighted with the help of footlights, not hidden by the help of this. Easily we can eliminate this one. Lid and jar. Do we use a lid to hide the jar? No, we simply use it to cover the jar. Again, we can eliminate this one. Upholstery and sofa. Upholstery is the cover or the cloth that we use for the sofas. So it doesn't highlight it, it doesn't hide it, rather it highlights it. It's a kind of ornament for it. It beautifies the sofas or it changes the outlook of the sofas. So this one can also be eliminated. Screen and film. What is the right answer to this one? This fifth one or fourth one? Screen and film. Film is showcased on the screen. It is displayed on the screen. So there is nothing being hidden here. The only answer is veil is to face. Veil, we use veil to hide face, right? So it should be this one. Just as we use a curtain to hide stage, we use a veil to hide the face. So it's a cloth that is used to hide the face. Oh, I can see someone has dropped in an answer. Amazing. Yes, Kriti, you're absolutely right. Yes, Manoj, you have also answered it correctly. Keep it up. Let's see if you can answer this one. That was an easy one. Now, nonconformist and norm. What is the relationship between the two? Nonconformist and norm. Decode the relationship, everyone, quickly. So the purpose won't be solved if I am decoding all the relationship, because we've practiced enough questions now. You should be able to do it on your own. What is the relationship of A is to B if we put these two words? We can say a person who is nonconformist would never adhere to the norms, the laid norms. He would never follow the norms. So we can say A is known not to follow B. A will always, or let's say will never adhere to B, this quality, norms. Right? Similarly, we should put other pairs also in this. A is known for not following B. Pessimist and rule. Pessimist is a person who always adheres to or who always expects negative things or unhappy endings, uncertain things. So pessimist and rule, they are not related in any way. So we can eliminate this one because the relationship is very ambiguous. Rule is not related to a person who is pessimist. A pessimist person is known for thinking negatively in a sense that he always expects things to go in wrong way. Extremist and conviction. Extremist is a person who very staunchly believes in certain principles, and conviction is when a person is proven guilty of the crime he or she is there to present himself for. So again, there is no relation between an extremist who would go to extreme extents to follow certain principle and conviction, that is proven guilty. No relationship. Criminal and motive. So can we say that a criminal never adhere to having a motive? They do have a motive, though it's a very negative one, I know, but the criminal may also have a motive. So again, a wrong relationship. Let's see who's going to answer this one. Kriti, AC and Manoj, try answering this one. Conservative and dogma. So what is the relationship between the two? Again, the role of vocabulary. We must be thinking, what is dogma? Sounds very strange. Dogma are certain principles or different kind of rules that people follow very strictly. So much so that they don't agree to anything else or accept any other principle or beliefs. A conservative is a person who never wants things to change. So he always wants to conserve the old order. And the last one is heretic and orthodoxy. I would say it's a close contender, these two. Heretic, orthodoxy. Vocabulary again. Okay, so orthodoxy we all know because we have all heard that orthodox society. I don't want to follow the orthodox rules. So orthodox is something that is outdated but still being dragged on again and again, irrespective of the changes going on in the society or in any way, in that way, right? Heretic is a person who is known not to follow the orthodoxy or the old order, right? So now you can say heretic is a person who's eccentric, who doesn't like to follow what is going on, and he is non-conventional in that way because he comes up with his own ideas. So a person who is heretic would never follow orthodoxy, and this is our right answer. Because conservative would follow a dogma, a person who wants to conserve the old order will always adhere strictly to the old principles, but a heretic would never, stick to the orthodoxy. Let's move on to the next one. And why did not any one of you answer this one? Probably because of the difficult words. It's time that we update our vocabulary now. Deluge and droplet. What is the relationship between the two? You must be thinking the level is increasing now, the difficulty level of the questions. A is to B. So deluge is a sudden rush of water, rain or flood with a great current or a great flow of water, right? Droplet we all know is a simple drop of water. So as you can see, they are both somehow related to water, but the difference is this has a higher degree than this one. So we can say they are almost same, or you can say that B has a lower degree in comparison to A. Like this. Let's see what can fit in it. Wave and beach, are they both same? No, they are not. Beach is the ending of the land part where the water body or the ocean starts. Wave is something else. So this is not the answer. Desert is to oasis. What is oasis now? Oasis is a green patchy area somewhere in between a lot of dry deserty area. So when you have a green patch in between the desert, it is known as oasis. So desert and oasis, they are not same. So why will we even go on to look for the degree? Because they are not same. We have to see something which are in some way same. We can easily cancel out this one. Blizzard and icicle. Now what is icicle? You know the dropping water whenever it drops off the roof. Let's say this is the roof, and water droplets coming from this, and they get frozen by the time they reach the ground. So this canopy-like structure which is formed like downwards and it freezes, it is known as icicle. And blizzard is a storm of snow, right? So they are also not related in this way. We cannot say it has a smaller degree, it has a greater degree like deluge and droplet have. Blizzard is a storm, and this is simply a structure that is formed, a downward canopy kind of structure. Landscape and pebble, how are they related? And cloudburst and puddle. A lot of vocabulary. Okay, Kriti has given that the answer is the fifth one. Let's discuss the fifth one first. Cloudburst we all know because we have seen it even in the news. In so many mountain areas, uphill areas, we often hear news of cloudburst. When the cloud, it strikes against some mountain top or something like that, all of a sudden all the water, it downpours suddenly. Puddle is a patch of water. Let's say when it has rained a lot and there is one area where there is a lot of stagnant water had stored somewhere, the water is stagnated there, it is known as puddle. The watery patch where water is stagnant, it can be because of any reason, running water. So they are not similar because cloudburst is downpour of water and this is stagnant water. They are not related. Landslide and pebble is something which is, I would say, closest to this pair. So when you see such close contenders like blizzard and icicle, cloudburst and puddle, I would say these three were the ones which could confuse us. But if you see the correct relation, pebble is just one tiny pebble. Landslide is when there is a lot of pebbles or the whole area of that land, it slides down the mountain. So this is the right one. The degree of landslide is much greater than pebble, and a lot of pebble, you can say, leads to the landslide. Sliding of lot of pebble leads to the landslide. So this one is the right answer. Yes, it is the fourth one. Moving on to our last question for today. Adolescence is to adulthood. Finally some relief, right? So what is the relationship between adolescence and adulthood? So we know that when we are in our teenage, we are adolescent towards being mature. So an adult is, let's say, somewhere near 18 or above 18. And adolescence, it is below 18. Adulthood is after 18. So which stage of human development comes first? Our growth, our development, which thing comes first? First is adolescence, and then it is followed by adulthood. So the degree would be this. If I say A is to B, you can say A is followed by B. It's always adolescence first when you are in your teenage, and then you go on to enter into your adulthood once you are 18 and above. So you have to be very careful of degree in this. Night and day. Can we say that night is always followed by day? Oh, it's vice versa. Day is always followed by night. Night is always followed by day. So they both reciprocate each other in this way. Problem is to question. After a problem, will you always have a question? Will a problem always be followed by a question? It may or may not be, right? Sometimes the question itself poses you a problem. So the relationship is not the correct one we are looking for. Examination is to result. Is the examination always followed by result? Yes, it is. That is the purpose of taking an exam. An exam is taken so that your results are out, and on the basis of that you are given certain merit, right? So this is the right answer. Examination will always be followed by result. Result will not be followed by examination. Marriage is to engagement. This is completely wrong because engagement is followed by marriage, not marriage and then engagement. So we can easily eliminate this last option also. Right, I hope now you have some clarity about the analogy question, and I may tell you the XAT exam, which everyone aims after the CAT exam, have good level of questions of these types of analogies. Apart from it, your TISNET, SNAP, IIFt, all of the exams are going to have analogy question. I know everyone aims the CAT exam first, but this doesn't mean that we can ignore these topics. So practice enough question of analogy, and now whenever you do it after this class, I hope you will first have patience, decode the relationship, and then try to fit in the given pairs into those variables, and then you'll definitely be able to do these answers. Right, so let's consider it a wrap for today. If you found the video helpful, do put it in the comment box any suggestions that you have, and if you found it helpful, feel free to like, share and subscribe to our channel, and always stay connected for more such awesome content. Thank you, and always believe in yourself.